I feel like sometimes when someone keeps not making time for you, it's a way to just tell you that, you know, I don't have time for you. There's some people who just want to be your friend, just to be your friend, and not to be your friend for real. I don't even know if that even makes sense. But on that note, are people really never available? Because I feel like people make time for the things that matter to them. So, friendships are hard. What do you think? How are you finding friendships in this adult stage of your life? How are you finding it? How are you navigating it? What are you doing to make your life easier? What are you doing to help you with your friendships? I'd like to know. Just call me Millie. Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Millie, and I'm back with another video. Hi guys. Yeah, I'm not even going to make any excuses for not being online for a while, but I'm just going to get into today's video. Today I'm going to be starting this series that I want to be doing on this channel, which I'm kind of going to title Navigating My 30s. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about navigating friendships in my 30s, specifically friendships, because that's been something that it's something that keeps coming up, especially now. And I feel like it's not just me. Even when I do talk to my friends, it's something that seems to be a thing we're all struggling with. So I'm like, you know what, let me just sit down and talk to y'all. I mean, maybe y'all can give us some advice. We can brainstorm. We can just go through this thing together, right? Like we always do. So I mean, let's start from the beginning, right? Friendships back when we started making friends, like when we were kids, it was almost effortless. It's like as if, you know, you were just being given friends for free. I mean, it was so easy because we're all going to the same school. We're all doing the same activities. Some of our parents are friends. So a lot of the times we had nothing to do with our schedules. It's just that I'm stuck with you the whole day. And I like you. I like your vibe. I like the clothes you're wearing. I like the lunch you bring to school. So you become friends, right? And it was that easy. It was that easy. But now it is so different. It is so different. I mean, a lot of us work from home. I mean, me specifically, I work from home. So I do not see anyone. The only person I see like on a daily is my husband and my son. You know, those are the two people I see every day. So how am I supposed to make friends in such a situation? You know, it's very difficult. And they also say, like, when you're going to work, don't make friends with people at work because they're not your friends. But how, guys? Because I mean, you spend like, if you go to work every day, you spend like 40 hours a week with these people. These are the people you spend time with the most. I mean, the last time I had a job. It's been a couple of years now since I've had a job. But I mean, late 20s, I guess. That's the last time I was actually employed. When I had a job, a lot of my friends were my workmates. Like, we would go out together. We would meet on the weekends. We would have lunch and tea together every single day. Those were actually my friends. They knew about what was going on in my life, for real, and I knew what was going on in theirs. But I do still talk to them. Like, I still talk to my friends from work. But obviously, yeah, we are living in a global village. Like, times are tough for some of us. But yeah, what is a person supposed to do if you can't make friends with people you go to work with, or you spend the whole day working from home? How are you supposed to make friends? And I get it when people are like, "Oh, am I supposed to meet my husband?" Because it's the kind of the exact same thing. Because the other thing about making friends when you're old like me, when you're older, is that it's like dating. You're going on dates. You're trying to figure out, what do you like? Do we like the same things? What's the stuff we have in common? What could we find ourselves doing? Can I joke with you? Like, you like really learning a person again, as if like it's a romantic relationship, even though it's not. It's obviously platonic, but you have to learn that person in the exact same way. Because I mean, when you grow up with your friends, right? You grow up and now you kind of all now have the same sense of humor, whatever, you know? Because at our age, sometimes you might feel like, okay, maybe I'm coming across as like a stuck up person because maybe the jokes I crack, this person does not like them. Also, because people at our age now, they've got trauma, and maybe something that you might say will trigger someone in the way that they don't want to be triggered. And now your friendship is done. Like, what is supposed to happen? I guess that's for me. That for me is such a conundrum because it's so difficult. It is so difficult to navigate because I want friends, and I don't want like 15 friends. But it would be nice, to have different friend groups for different things. But I've found as I've grown, I just have I have different friend groups, yes, but they're hardly groups. It's like different friendships, if I can put it that way. Like I'm friends with this one person and then this one person and then this one person. It's not like this girl's group, and this girl's group. I don't have it like that. And I don't know. I know for me, I was having this conversation with my sister the other day, and I'm like, going to school in South Africa kind of made things a bit difficult for some of us to maintain our friendships. And I don't think it just applies to South Africa. It also applies to some countries like maybe Canada or maybe even the US. People who study in countries where they allow you to study there, but they don't necessarily want you to stay there. They're like, you can study here, but once you're done, go back to where you came from. So I found that a lot of my friends that I had, even in university, as soon as we were done, they either returned back to Zim or found another country to now really start their lives. And that meant that we are no longer in the same vicinity. And you all know what it's like with long distance relationships. They require, it's not even like they require one to be intentional. You have to be an intentional person to make any long distance relationship work. And for me, it has worked with some people, but you find that, especially when there's now like a time difference in play, it's like now you're at a point where you're like literally giving each other weekly updates, because when things are happening, the other person's maybe sleeping, the other person's not available, the other person is, it's like a lot of things going on. So it's hard. And I guess when I relocated to Canada, that was one of my things, that I didn't have any friends here. I didn't have any people, like a community where you can just be like, hey now, I'm available. Let's go for brunch. Let's do this. It wasn't so easy for me for a very long time. And I think I've come to terms with the fact that I might never have the quality of friendships that I had when I was younger, now that I'm in my 30s and growing. And it makes sense because we're in a different place. I mean, I have fond memories with my friends, especially in university when we were now free to, even like high school, even like primary school guys, when we used to have those massive sleepovers, study dates. I remember in uni, my friends and I would go and buy food. Like we'd put our money together, then we'd buy chicken, lick and wings, KFC bucket. We'd have all this food. And then the specific friendship group, we were in the choir together. So we would go into the choir room, and this is like exam season, and we'd have all this food. And then we would sleep in there. We would spread our little blankets on the floor, and we would just spend the whole night just laughing, singing, talking, waking each other up to study, just being there for each other. And it was like that for many things in many situations, until obviously we left that situation and now people have jobs, people have children, people are getting married. And now it's really difficult to bring people back in a situation where you can just be like, I'm coming to your house to do nothing. I just want to be in your presence. I haven't had a friendship like that in a very long time, where, in uni, I could wake up in Bath and go sit in my friend's house. I'm not there for any reason. we're not there to get ready to go out. We're not there to do anything. I'm just there to be with my friend. And I feel I might never have that again. And it hurts so much. It hurts so much because all I want is and I guess it is what it is. Life moves on, and life moves on hard because now it's so difficult. I mean, um, one of my newest friends that I've made since I came to Canada, I remember the first time we met through church. The first time we met, we were at a newcomer's lunch, and I sat next to her, and she kind of looks like me. She has similarity. We have similarities, so people say we look alike. You probably have seen her in my vlogs. Um, so she sits next to me, and we're just talking, and she's like, I've never considered being friends with a married person, let alone a mother, because those people never have time for anything else. And I low-key was like, I hear you. I really hear you. Because it goes back to what I was saying, that if you're not intentional about your friendships, then what's the point? I mean, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and one thing I've stressed in my marriage, even to my husband, is that outside friendships are necessary. You need to have friendships outside of this marriage. Like, you need to have friends, Obviously, not just any old friends, but good friends. Friends, there's certain things that your husband, I absolutely believe that your husband and your wife cannot be your everything. I cannot be your end all be all, you know? You need to have a bromance with someone, I need to have girls that I can just go out and be girls with and just blabber about nothing. And you need to be boys and have someone that you can just be boys with. And then together we can obviously have our bestie friendship, but it is so necessary. So when my friend said this to me, she wasn't my friend yet then, I was like, I don't think so, because for me, I'm one of those people who really values my friendships. If I link up with you and I feel like it's positive vibes and we are really, like, I enjoy that friendship, I'm going to invest myself and I'm going to avail myself come what may. Like, you could be in Calgary and you'll call me up and say, Millicent, it's an emergency, I need you here. And I will make a plan. I forgot the Africans, but I will make a plan. And that's the kind of person that I try to be for my friends. Obviously, sometimes it might not be possible, but I will do my utmost best. That's what I try to do for all my friends. And, even when she said that to me, I was like, you know what? If we're friends and I love you like that, I will always make time for you. And it's not even I'm going to disrespect my husband and I'm going to be always out. No, it's communication. I communicate. I need to go and see my girls. We're going to go for brunch. Are you okay being by yourself with Marty this weekend? I'm okay. He does the same thing. I want to go to soccer with my boys. Are you okay being with Marty by yourself this weekend? And I do that. Because, guys, I don't know. I don't think, I was reading this thread on TikTok where people were, a thread on TikTok. You can tell I'm old. I don't know what they call them. Anyway, hashtag, I don't know. This trend, I guess that's what they call them on TikTok, where I think someone started off by saying, no, our grandparents' marriages used to last longer because A, B, C, D. But one thing about their marriages is they didn't spend a lot of time together. Man would leave the house in the morning, come back at night, and probably spend weekends doing something else, doing boy things, man things, hunting, or, whatever those people like to do on weekends, going to the pub and whatever. They didn't spend as much time as we spend with our spouses today. Like, my husband and I spend 24/7 together. Like, the only time I'm away from my husband is when one of us is doing school run. That's like on a normal day, or when I'm serving at church, or when I'm at Bible study. But we're in the same house 24/7. He's literally one shout away, like, babe, and he's here. You know what I mean? So I really believe that absence does make the heart grow fonder. It's good to always be together, but it's good to also have things that you do outside, and it's so important. But yeah. Ujolo is rough, guys, because the same struggle that people are having with dating people, it's the same in friendships. And I think earlier I mentioned this thing is all over the place, but this is what these are, because this is exactly what my head feels like when I'm navigating my 30s. what was I saying? Dating. The whole thing about trauma, it's real, because sometimes you miss out on a good friendship just because you don't communicate, because you feel something coming. So let's say like in your last friendship, because you've had so many friendships and you've had so many friendships fail and you've had so many friendships do well. And so now you kind of have a sense of, your brain kind of works against you sometimes. You have a sense of impending danger. So now your friend is acting in a certain way and not replying your messages, or not there for you when you want them to be there for you or whatnot. And the immediate thing you think is, I'm not going to even text them. I'm not going to bother because they don't bother about me. Meanwhile, your friend is probably going through focus in their life, and they probably need a friend. And in their perspective, they're probably thinking, do I really even have friends? The one time that I decide that I'm not going to reply, no one actually ever even decides to check on me. It's tough. It's tough. I actually saw something else on TikTok where this woman, I think she was postpartum, and her friends drove to her house and they were trying to get her to open the door because she wasn't picking up their calls, and they were saying, girl, I can tell he's been lying and pretending that he's faithful and he hurt you, outside her window, until they managed to find their way in. And it turns out their friend was having a psychotic break, like that postpartum depression, and they helped her through it. But I was thinking, like, in other friendships, one could get to the point of death and their friends just would be like, she's acting brand new these days, so I'm not even gonna try. So friendships are hard, guys. Friendships, where do you begin? How do you do it? How do you guys do it? Like, I see people who throw big parties and they've got 30 plus people. Are those really your friends? Or like, are you like just asking people to come with plus ones? Like, what is going on? I'm always having this discussion with my husband about the difference between female friendships and male friendships, because my husband has a lot of friends and he has had these same friends for years upon years. And I'm always telling him that I feel like with women, we get really deep in our friendships. Like, the same openness you have with like your husband is like the openness you have with like your bestie. Your bestie knows you through and through. You've got a scar on your bottom, she knows about it. That's how deep we are as friends, as females. We get into the crux of everything, and that is a good thing and it's a bad thing, because female friendships are so passionate, and because people know you so well, they can also lead to your downfall because they know you so well. At the same time, they could be the reason you excel. And it's so hard to know people these days. It is so hard to know people. Because let me tell you, fake friends are real. There's some people who just want to be your friend, just to be your friend, and not to be your friend for real. I don't even know if that even makes sense. Like, they're cool with entertaining the idea of friends, but they're not really your friends. When you're not there, they're just like, oh, Millie. They're there for you. And someone once told me that if a person can talk about other people in your presence, they probably talk about you when you're not there. Like, obviously there's the talking about that we do as friends. I mean, like with a lot of my friends, we have discussions. I can't even say it's gossip. I'm gonna call them discussions, where we like share our insights. Like, what do you think about this situation? And then we all share. But there's a situation where, like, my turn off in certain friendships is when someone hears something about someone else and they want to be the first to announce it. I dislike that. I hate it. And I thank God that He's given me friends that are not like that. Like, let's say maybe I'm pregnant, right? For example, let's say I'm pregnant and my friends know I'm pregnant and they already start going around telling, yeah, she's pregnant, but she's going to announce. Oh yeah, that's already one. That's a red flag for me. And another big red flag is for you, once I announce, to come in my comments like, I was tired of keeping your secrets. Why do people do that? This is also like another story as well. But why do people do that? Why are you in the comments trying to make people know that you knew this whole time? Like, haha, you guys didn't know, but I was in the inner circle. I feel like friends don't need to do that, you know? But that's just me. Like I was saying, we all got trauma. So yeah, we all got trauma. I'm really going in. I actually had some points, right? So my first point was friendships in our 30s are much different from when we were younger. I really miss it. I really miss just going to school and being with your friends by force. No choice. And even those holiday friendships that we used to have, like my summer camp and whatnot, I miss them. You know how hard it is making friends as an adult. It's hard. Maintaining those friendships is hard because people are just never available. But on that note, are people really never available? Because I feel like people make time for the things that matter to them. And that's a hill I'm willing to, people make time for the things they value. And I say that because there's some people who can call me up right now and ask me to make time today, and I'll just be like, I'm not available. And then there are people who will call me and I'll be like, let me, I can find some time. I can figure it out. People make time for things they value, and it is what it is. I feel like sometimes when someone keeps not making time for you, it's a way to just tell you that, I don't have time for you. But at the same time, people maybe could be genuinely busy. But I feel like sometimes, come on, guys. I feel like sometimes some people overdo it. Like if you've canceled 3 or 4 or 5 times, I don't know if you really want to see me at this point, I understand people being busy because I also get busy. But people make time for things they value. Because imagine if that was a man, a boy, a man. We don't have boys anymore, we're older. It's a man. You telling me sis wouldn't drop things on a Friday, Saturday to be with men? I don't know. Maybe I'm traumatized. Yeah, and then the other thing is like the change, like the way friendships just change. The dynamics are so different. Like I was saying, one person's a mom, one person's going through marriage. But I'm a firm believer that you can continue being friends in whatever season you're going through. It's going to be completely relevant. Friendships should not be entirely based on similarities. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. I feel like you can still be friends with people, even if one is a mother and one isn't, one is married and one isn't. Y'all are still the same people. You still have the same interests. You might be going through things differently at that specific point in your lives, but at the core of it, you're still the same. Anyway, I've said a lot in this video. But tell me, what do you think? How are you finding friendships in this adult stage of your life? How are you finding it? How are you navigating it? What are you doing to make your life easier? What are you doing to help you with your friendships? I'd like to know. Anyway, before I keep going with this rant, thank you for watching my video. It's been a pleasure having you, and I love you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Just call me.